Hello, entrepreneurs. This is Joe DeChara coming to you live again from downtown Flushing. And, I had a big surprise yesterday because if you've been following me, I have this big fancy mic. I don't know how much I paid for it, but it was more than the one that comes with the computer for free. Anyway, after all this time, I realized that it wasn't hooked up. All these months I'm doing these lives and I'm listening to it saying, how can I improve the quality? Because I want to keep improving. I want to get better at this. And, I still got a long way to go, obviously. But the thing is, so I realized that the mic had a jack and it's got all of these wires and stuff, but this wasn't plugged in. All the other wires, and there's like 5 or 6 wires, were plugged in, but this one wasn't. So it's pretty simple. You plug it in to the jack that says mic on your computer. And so I'm looking for that this is a brand new one of those all-in-one computers. I could, touch the screen. It's it wasn't a cheap computer. Well, apparently they could only afford to put one jack in this computer, and the jack is for the mic and the headset. So I could either put the mic in there and you could hear me, better than the webcam mic, which is what I'm using. But then you could hear me, but I can't hear anything, which I don't even know if that matters, to be honest with you. And maybe it doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm still learning this stuff. But the point is this: there's only one jack. And then it dawned on me that I got all these other gizmos that came with it, and there was one that had some kind of, it was a dual jack. And I looked at it and I said, why would I need this? This is useless. But I was smart enough to say that there must be a use for this. So let me put it away somewhere so that it's safe, so that if I ever figure out that I need it, then I'll have it. Well, guess what? I think that that's the gizmo that you need to have the mic and the speakers hooked. I don't know. I'm assuming. But the computer isn't that big, and there's only so many, ports and jacks, and there's only one jack in here. So if anybody could explain this to me, I would really like to use this mic and see if it increases my viewership or anything. But anyway, that's enough about the mic and the technical part of this. And I share this stuff because I'm pretty new at this. And it's amazing to me that we can even do this. And this is another thing. My girlfriend bought me this shirt for my birthday, and I still had one of the tags on it. So it's a good thing I didn't go out with this. But the thing is that this technology is unreal, that I could do something like this, and millions of people could be watching this. Now, hopefully there's at least 1 or 2 people watching live. And if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live. Usually my friend Elizabeth is on here. She's my biggest supporter right now. I can't even get my mom to come on my Facebook lives. I mean, she was on 1 or 2 of them, but it's, she's busy. She's busy. And I understand that, Mom, but, not for nothing. And my daughter. So anyway, if you're watching, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And the reason why I was sharing all this is because I'm new at this. I just started doing this a couple of months ago. And probably, yeah, I started in October, November. And there was no way I wanted to do this. But I knew that I had to. I had to figure out a way to get my voice and my message out there to a lot of people. Anyway, so it turns out that I'm not the only one that had this issue with doing like Facebook Lives, and I guess it's public speaking in general. So I like to, you know, talk about this stuff because if I could do it, Tatiana, if you watch, you can do it. And if you're watching this, I'm so proud of you. So my client, Tatiana, she's got tenacity and she'll be successful. I know it. But she was admittedly terrified of doing this. And then the other day she did her Facebook Live and nothing bad happened. You know, and that's what I realized. I said, well, if I do this, what's the worst that could happen? And all of those things happen. The worst things that could happen. And they keep happening, like technology glitches. And, you know, I was interviewing somebody the other day and all of a sudden they disappeared. And, you know, then you got to learn how to pivot. And so I picked up a lot of, I guess, experience, humbling experience by just practicing and just doing it. And then I came to the conclusion, I said, what if I just make believe, I imagine that nobody's even watching us and nobody really cares. And that just made it easy. So I hope that somebody's watching this, because the whole idea is, you know, I spent a lot of time preparing these Facebook Lives to teach really and share my knowledge and experience on what it takes to start, build, and manage a small business successfully. And I keep learning and trying to share more. And as I learn more, I could share more and really spread the information out there free to people, because a lot of the information that I got was free, which was, you know, yeah, hi, Susan. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is cool. This technology, and I didn't realize until like a couple of days ago that if you post a question in the chat, it comes through my StreamYard. Because one of the difficulties for me is going into Facebook Live and looking at the chat. Like Haley Gray she's probably done 20,000 of them, but you don't even know, like she's over there typing and answering questions while she's talking. Yeah, Susan, StreamYard, this is unbelievable. I tried Zoom and they were having a lot of problems connecting. And I pay for this, but it's definitely worth it. It's a lot easier. I could do cool things like, watch this, the banners. So if you want to join my mastermind group, you can go to Mastermind with Joe. This is new. My university, Bedrock University, is up and open. It's free for students. I got some unbelievable courses up there. Haley Gray talks about how she built her one Facebook group. She's got over 67,000 people. I think 67. I lose count. And if you want to have a free chat with me, you can go to Time with Joe. So yes, Susan, if you have any questions about this stuff, be glad to go through it. And I did not even, okay, let me start from the beginning, because I got sidetracked with the whole the microphone thing. And I'll keep you updated on that because I know that it's important to you. But tonight's How You Can Win at Business episode, because that's the name of the show, How You Can Win at Business, is all about my top 6 best business practices. And I'm trying to think of things that I could share with you that's besides, wave apps and bookkeeping and taxes, because that gets stale after a while. I mean, I can come up with some really creative tax strategies and bookkeeping stuff, but let's face it, it's not really that exciting. And I understand that. But when we could talk about business and ways that we can improve it, especially ways that we can improve our businesses without spending any money. And that's one of my specialties. I don't like spending money. I mean, actually, I do like spending money if it's on something that I like. But I don't want to spend money on stuff that isn't going to work. And that happens too many times in business. So over the years, I've just come up with, these are simple things that we can do to make our business better. And none of them are earth-shattering. None of these are like, oh my God, I wish I thought of that. These are all simple things that we all know, but nobody does. Because it's just, you think it's not that important. But maybe it is. So let me share my screen. And yes, once again, I have a PowerPoint thingy that I don't know how to. One second, folks. Okay, where's the thing that says present? Oh, there it is. And we're going to start with slide 1. And now I will share it with you. This is still amazing to me. So here is How You Can Win at Business, my home screen. And I started this last week because I saw somebody else do it, and I like copying people. And my bedrock quotes, one of my favorite people that is not alive anymore. It is easier to prevent bad habits than to break them. Benjamin Franklin. If you could tell me which habits are going to be bad before I start them, it might be a little easier. Like I get smoking and thank God I don't smoke. I tried it, but but sometimes you get into bad habits. You don't even realize that you're doing it, and then all of a sudden you got to break this bad habit. It's really not fair. But this came from Benjamin, and I just go with what he says. So, all right, Susan, there'll be the replay. I've been putting up the replays as watch parties, but I will share that with you. All right, be good. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by, Susan. And so you see that's proof that sometimes people are watching and they reply. And then another thing I can mention, Tatiana, sometimes you don't think people are watching, but they are. This internet thing is really, I think there's a future in this whole internet platform. I mean, think about it. Anyway, so tonight I am going to talk about the top 6 best business practices you can employ now for free. And I came up with this title myself. I didn't copy it from anybody. And if you look at it, there are words in here, and I keep bringing this up about the marketing stuff because I just find it fascinating. And when I learned this stuff, I said, oh, they've been doing this to me my whole life. getting me to buy stuff that I probably wanted, but they just like put stuff there. And one of the things, one of the stuffs is you, and now, and free. So those are like three words that they call them like power words. I think there's 6 of them. There's free, you, now, guaranteed. I know sex is in there, but you can't combine sex and bookkeeping in too many sentences. And there's one other. But anyway, so that's why, the top, best is a good word too. But anyway, so that's the name of tonight's show. And I have a blank screen here. Oh, so this is what happened. So we're going to go through the 6 now. And when I set this up, I didn't realize that I actually set it up the way that it was supposed to be set up. So the first thing that you can do, if you've been listening to me at all, and if you haven't, you should go back to my YouTube channel and check out what I'm saying, because you got to keep your books up to date. And there's a program, I talk about this all the time, Wave Apps. It's so simple, it's free. It sucks in all the information. And I'll even set it up for you and maintain it for you if you want, if you don't want to do it yourself. Or just watch my YouTube channels and you could see how to do it yourself. Now, I don't recommend doing things like this yourself. We have a hybrid. We can have a hybrid thing where you do this, we do that. But in either case, if you're not keeping your books up to date, and what I mean by up to date, I mean up to like today. Like there shouldn't be any transactions that aren't recorded. Now, if you're doing an electronic transaction and you're using Wave Apps, it's going in there automatically. It's going in there automatically, folks. You don't have to even do anything. So that's the first thing that you can do. And now the second thing, which I've been doing a lot of during this pandemic, which doesn't look like it's going to be really ending, maybe never, who knows. But I've been staying in touch with a lot of clients. I've been getting new clients, and just keeping, I don't have to wait for a client to have a problem. A lot of times, thanks to the government and bogus companies trying to, sending, things that look like government correspondence, and I get to stay in contact with clients a lot because they get these notices, and then I have to look at them. So that's a natural way. But every so often, there's clients that I haven't heard from. And I can do a send out card to them. Thank you for being a client. Or I can text them, or just stay in touch with them. Remind them that I'm here. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but just stay in touch with them. It's a good idea because those are the people that are paying you. Think about it. Okay, you want to keep a good relationship up with them. And keep filling your sales funnel. This is a process that never ends. This is what I've learned is in let's say my business, the accounting business. I've had the pleasure and the pain of having large clients. And when you get a large client, a large part of your time and energy is devoted to that client, which takes you away from the time you have to fill your sales funnel. So it's almost like a double-edged sword. You like getting the big clients because that's, guaranteed cash flow with stability. But what happens inevitably is you lose the client. Not many clients stay with, an accountant forever, because, the fact that most businesses go out of business. Then there's changes in ownership. And so if you have a large client and you just lose that client and you don't have that sales funnel going, you're going to be in trouble. So doesn't it make sense to have a steady stream of new prospects? And there's ways to do that, which I'm not going to get into, but you have to keep filling your sales funnel. Number 4, stay relevant. Stay up to date, especially if you're in a service business where things are changing. Let's face it, I don't know if you're familiar with Moore's Law, where somehow he said that chips, their processing speeds and size would double every 2 years, and it's amazing. And that's how, there's more power in this little cell phone than probably 10, my first computer times 10. That had a 40 megabyte, not gigabyte, megabyte hard drive. I think it was like 640K RAM or something. I mean, and I think I got like how many gigabytes on here. So just like the chips, you got to stay relevant. I'm not buying a chip from 10 years ago. It's not going to power my computer. So stay relevant, however you have to do that. Offer solutions, not even old solutions. Offer new solutions to old problems. There's always new problems coming up, but people still have old problems. So if you find a new way to solve an old problem, let people know about it. And this goes back to stay in touch with your client and stay relevant. If you're staying in touch with your client, you might say, hey, listen, I don't know if you realize this, but they just changed the tax laws on blah, blah, blah. And you might be able to take advantage of this. I was able to apply for 2 clients that originally did not qualify for the EIDL because of the way it was written. The way it was, you had to suffer a economic injury and you had to document it. And then it turned out it wasn't like that. So there was a solution and we found it and there was a deadline. So that was a win for everyone. And last but not least, make it easy to do business with you. What do I mean by that? Offer a free webinar. Put yourself out there. I have time with Joe. Book a free chat with me. Offer some free information, free ebooks. Get people into your list and then invite them. Say, I have this ridiculous offer. I have this Bedrock University where you can sign up and, learn how to build a Facebook group from Haley Gray. You can learn how to scale your business from John Limbacher. You can talk to, listen to Lynn Murphy about conflict resolution, all for free. Now, if you take advantage of these offers, you're in my sales funnel, and I'll keep letting you know about relevant things. And then eventually maybe something that I'm offering, like my ridiculous $47 a month full charge bookkeeping service, which takes about 5 minutes to set up. And so I'm trying to make it easy for people to do business with me. Now, they didn't teach me this stuff in CPA school. I mention this all the time. The accounting stuff, how to do a balance sheet and a P&L, yes, I learned that as an accountant. But the other stuff I had to learn the hard way, by trial and error, by studying people, by getting a mentor, by getting a coach, by joining masterminds and looking and seeing what other successful people do. Not what they say, but what they do. And that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Like I say with every lesson, take action. If you don't take action, it doesn't matter if you learned how to cure cancer. If you have the knowledge on how to cure a disease and you don't take action on it, nothing is going to happen. And I hope that if you have information like that, you're going to take some action. Now, we're just talking about business here, okay? Not to put it lightly, but and this has to do with everything really. It's life and in business. If you just sit on your butt, nothing is going to happen. Okay, you have to take action, even if it's the wrong action. If you don't know what action to take, you got to take some action, because no action exactly. No action is nothing. The results are nil. So take action. If you want to know how to take action, maybe you're paralyzed by fear, you don't want to do a Facebook Live, whatever the reason, book a chat with me, timewithjoe.com, and sign up for my mastermind group. I still have free slots open. We're changing things around a little. But if you go to Mastermind with Joe DiChiara, you can register and get in the loop. And last but not least, I do want to invite people to my free webinar, and it's called How You Can Win at Business. Now, I've changed the name of this several times. I wanted to make it How You Can Win Big at Business, but that URL is taken. So don't go there. Okay, go to How You Can Win at Business. And before that, it was How to Win at Business. But if you remember the marketing tip I gave you before, you is one of those power words. So you should be reading this, and subconsciously, you are getting a message that how you can win a business, how you can win a business. Just keep repeating that, how you can win a business.com, and you can register for the free webinar. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Joe DiChiara, it's been a pleasure. Happy Tuesday night, I guess. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and tomorrow, special Facebook Live in Bedrock Business Builders. I have my friend and client Tatiana Sloshin something. I'm going to mess up her last name, so sorry about that, Tatiana. Anyway, that's it. Over and out. God bless. Thank you.